Hey guys, happy YouTube Tuesday. It's me, Moon Pies, brought to you by netstories.com with 3 ways that YouTube could have handled the demonetization of YouTube creator partners more effectively. And by demonetization, I'm not talking about stuff that happened last year when they were purging people that were either had offensive content, that was stuff that was controversial or not advertiser friendly. That's all related to other stuff that I do not want to tackle in this video. I'm talking specifically about the YouTube demonetization that went into effect last Tuesday, that they announced back in January, that any creator, part of their monetization program, part of the YouTube Partner Program, that did not have at least 1,000 subscribers or less than 4,000 hours of views across all their content over the past year, past 365 days, would be eliminated from making money from revenue sharing in the ad revenue of the ads that play on their videos. So let's start with number 1. And of these 3 things, the first one is one that I think a lot of people have been making, so I'm not going to be breaking the mold with that. But number 2 and number 3, I definitely haven't heard anyone say. If I have, I just haven't been looking around enough. So they are original perspectives. And again, I'm not approaching this from a YouTube creator point of view. I'm not even approaching this from a YouTube fan point of view. I created my YouTube channel in January 2006, so I'm one of the first YouTubers here. I've been here a long time, but I'm also approaching this from a financial perspective, what makes good business sense from YouTube, Google, and Alphabet. They're all the same company. Number 1 is grandfathering in people that were already in the program. And this is something that a lot of people have said, because a lot of people joined the program, and last year they created a new hoop where you had to have 10,000 views before you could join the program. But again, if you didn't have that, they let you work your way up to that until you made it. This is more like, hey, it's not for any new members that have 1,000 subscribers or 4,000 hours of views over the past 12 months. We're actually going to require everyone that's not on it to kick them out of the program. So to me, that was pretty much a travesty to a lot of people, because a lot of people were just getting started, people in various other places, and especially the way YouTube lulled people into thinking, all right, create different channels, different specialties. It's okay. It's fine if you're a partner. Put your things in different channels so you can create specific brands, which is what I did, and I had several channels and a lot of other people that combined, cumulatively, they may have made the cut, but individual channels, many of them got lost by the wayside here with this demonetization move. By grandfathering in, they would have saved themselves a whole bat of ill will, because people that are not in the program don't know what they have. If you have this cool theater and you're showing these free movies and you're giving them popcorn, people that are outside don't know what's going in. But once you're in there, you tell them, oh no, only some of you get this, no, some of you don't get out. It does create a resentment that you don't get from people that were never part of the program. So there were a lot of people that were spoiled, lulled into this complacency. I don't want to use spoiled because that's the wrong word to use, when the rug got pulled under their feet. But that is something that by grandfathering in, you avoid that. And even if it was just a time base, like YouTube gave people about 35 days. They sent out the first email and they said, in about 35, 40 days, you're done if you don't make that. So it was very hard for people that didn't have anywhere close to 1,000 subscribers, people that had nowhere close to 4,000 hours views over the last videos, to get up to the new level. They thought they were fine. Netflix, back in 2014, interesting note, they increased prices from the first time. It used to be $7.99 a month was what people paid for the streaming service. When they increased the price, they said, all right, this is to $8.99 or $9.99 in some cases, but $8.99 first. They said, this only goes to the new subscribers. You people paid $7.99. You're on that price for 2 years. So they gave them 2 years to prepare for the eventual hike. YouTube really blew it in that one. Number two is to allow creators that don't make the cut to use the revenue that they're making off their videos, at least, theoretical video, because now that money's not being shown to them, to use for YouTube products. Now think about this. We're talking about YouTube Red, all the videos that YouTube sells and rents through the YouTube site. People may not know that there's a YouTube Red product out there where you pay $10 a month and you get ad-free YouTube. I've been a member of YouTube Red since it started. It's amazing. And even with the demonetization, and I'm angry at YouTube for doing this for so many little people, I'm not going to stop YouTube Red because it's an awesome product. It also has access to originals, which I really don't care for. But for the most part, it's cool just to have a platform that has no ads, which is what YouTube Red is for less than $10 a month. And I feel I'm contributing to the YouTube cause. They could have taken the money that you're accumulating and said, all right, we're not going to write you a check until you have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of views. But you could use that money to pay a YouTube Red subscription. And again, it's not going to be enough to cover the whole $10, but you can use it. Or, hey, you built up $2 or $3 in revenue over the past few months. Why don't you rent the Florida Project or rent Justice League or something? YouTube could have done that. And they would have made people say, you know, I'm angry, but we're bartering. We're exchanging goods. And more importantly, for YouTube's end, they'd be holding up their end of the bargain because they wouldn't be necessarily handing over advertising money. It's money that if they caught, if someone was putting out these bad actors that YouTube thinks that they're going to stop with this, they would have been able to catch them before having to pay out any money to any other advertiser. So it would be a nice way to actually get people to still be part of the program using their money within the ecosystem, which is a pretty big deal when you think about it because YouTube Red, a lot of people don't know about it. YouTube, Alphabet and Google. Alphabet is Google's parent company and Google's YouTube's parent company. Get used to it. It's a kid of a kid of a kid. YouTube is the grandchild of Alphabet, I guess. Now, in this case, as far as YouTube Red goes, Alphabet and Google and YouTube have never told people how many YouTube Red subscribers there are. There probably aren't too many, and I'll get to that shortly. But even then, a lot of people do not know that YouTube is a site that has premium music. YouTube is something, it's a premium music, premium video platform, all part of that YouTube prospect. Because YouTube is not as popular as Spotify and Apple Music and possibly even Pandora as far as premium subscriptions to music-based products. This could have changed that because it would have had a lot of people saying, well, I have a little bit of money, so hey, why not just use that money and add the rest out of my pocket and help YouTube that way? Number 3 is YouTube Red. Now, anybody who was part of the partner program before the demonetization or continues to be one knows that they get a revenue of YouTube Red subscription. So someone, let's say 1,000 people are paying for YouTube Red at $10 a month. And again, it's obviously a lot more than 1,000. Let's say 1 million people pay $10 a month. So that's basically $10 million that YouTube is making off Red. And they basically tabulate all the money spent across all the content, and they divide it. So the big channels are going to get most of the money because they're the ones generating most of the views from that. So basically, if you had a YouTube Red, if you had any kind of channel, you probably saw it was less than 5% of my revenue was coming from YouTube Red because most people are not part of the YouTube Red program. And then probably a similar thing happening in your world too. But what YouTube could have done with YouTube Red is that it could have made that part inclusive. It could have taken, all right, we're not going to do the ad revenue sharing, but the YouTube Red subscription revenue, you can keep that. And again, this is talking, we're talking people, most 99% of people are making $100. We've been talking about 99% of the people not even making $5 over the course of the year. But it would be these pennies, these little goals, these little, like, I'm nickel and diming my way to something, I'm building on something. And more importantly, YouTube Red is not a product that can be gained the same way you can with the ads and stuff like that. But I mean, sure, someone could just keep viewing their content over and over. YouTube knows about this. Google and Alphabet are smart companies. But with YouTube Red, there weren't any advertisers getting burned with that money. That's money that YouTube was collecting and spreading amongst the usage. So it was like a use tax, like a toll road, rather than any kind of other tax. So by doing this, by saying that YouTube Red is not part of the program, they could have said, all right, we've taken you out of the monetization program if you have less than 1,000 subscribers and less than 4,000 hours viewed, but you can still take the YouTube Red subscription revenue because it doesn't affect any of the advertisers. In fact, people that are in YouTube Red aren't seeing any ads at all. And that's, I guess, the whole irony of this all is that even though the demonetization kicked in last week, a lot of people, the small fry that did not make the cut, are no longer getting revenue. The ads are still there. YouTube and Google and Alphabet are still collecting money from these advertisers. They're just taking it all instead of sharing it like they are with the larger creators. So there's a lot of things wrong with the demonetization, but I've looked beyond it, obviously. I'm creating content. I'm back to doing fresh content. I see the carrot before me. I'm running to it. But in this case, I just think these three things. One is, of course, could have grandfathered people in so that those who already have a taste for it are still part of it. Number two, that they could have used people that were kicked off the program, could have still accumulated money that could have been used for YouTube dollars or whatever, stuff used within the YouTube ecosystem. And number three was that the YouTube Red subscription revenue should have never been taken away because it's, in theory, it's earned. And whether that stuff is content that is pirated or copywritten or stolen from some other channel or just wrong on many other levels, YouTube would eventually catch that well before that pennies basically have to pay out. I mean, it would have to take years for that to get paid out for most channels. And by then, YouTube would have caught on. Hey, this guy's this girl, this guy, whatever, is actually just taking old Family Guy episodes and putting it on their channel to get views. So yes, those are 3 things that YouTube could have done better in tackling last week's monetization program or demonetization of the YouTube Partners Creators Program. That's it for this week. I'll be back next week and other stuff. See you soon. Thank you again for putting up with me. And let's see how this all shakes out. Bye.